Welcome to the Postal Peter P. Web exclusive. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And we're here at the beautiful Colo Club, located at 1422 Grand Street in Hoboken, New Jersey. And the gentleman to my left is an extremely familiar face on the show, and that is Frank Rosner. Frank, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great, Pete. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, but I'm a little confused on why we're here, Frank, because we are at the Big Tent Luncheon sponsored by the Hispanic Republicans of North Jersey, and this is a little weird that two liberals like us are at this event.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's very odd, and but we'll take it. You know, we don't mind going into the Lion's Den, right, Pete?
Amen to that. And of course, we're going to stay neutral. We're going to have some interviews with some candidates running for office, whether local or state office, or even national office.
Even national.
And some former candidates. We have Phil Rizzo, who's been on the show before.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly. And of course, we're going to have a familiar face a little later on in the show in Josh Sotomayor Einstein. So Frank, you know, one thing I do need to mention to you though is I think we need more of this in society today.
Well,
right or wrong, the two of us being here at an event for the opposite party.
Well, you know what, and I agree with you. I mean, this is, as long as we're talking, and as long as we're not constantly, you know, pursuing our own agenda, we're pursuing a collective agenda. And that starts to make things better. At least we're talking.
Exactly.
It's very simple to me.
I completely agree with you. Checks and balances, right? Absolutely.
There you go.
All right, we're going to get to the speeches. We're going to get to the interviews. We're going to have some fun. Frank, you ready?
I'm ready to.
All right, let's do it.
I am a Boricua from the Boogie Down Bronx. What? I was born in the Bronx, and my parents moved out when I was about 7 or 8 because they're conservativos, and they just believe that you know, moving down south in Hamilton, the blueberry capital of the world, was the best thing for our family. Culture shock there, okay? Going from the Bronx to nothing but blueberries as far as the eye can see, okay? But anyway, that's where I grew up. I grew up in Hamilton. I loved it. Wasn't much there. It was a very nurturing environment, a great town to move. I don't know if you know this, but back in the 80s, we had President Reagan come. I was 12 at the time, and I'll always remember Hamilton because of that. We actually had Reagan come to our little tiny little nook in South Jersey. So anyway, I lived there since I was 18 or 19, and then I decided to raise my hand and enlist in the United States Marine Corps. I left home, and I got stationed in Parris Island, I went to Parris Island, South Carolina. From there, I ended up stationed in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. I was stateside support for our Gulf War veterans. I stayed for 4 years and then decided maybe there's more for me. Came back home, decided to enroll in Stockton State College, and then I wasn't sure about that either. As my mid-20s, I was kind of like still like, what do I want to do with my life, right? So I said, well, I'll take a break from college, and I decided to become a union electrician. I go from hard to hardest, right? I don't make anything easy for myself. So I decided to become a union electrician. I did a 5-year apprenticeship with IBEW Local 351. I'm still a member of IBEW Local 351, so if I want to go out and grab the tools and go to work as an electrician, I can do that right now. I put that on hiatus. I'm still a member because I really want to concentrate on my campaign in South Jersey because I'm in it to win it. So I'm taking it that seriously that I actually put my job on hold to really, 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 really hone in on my campaign. So that's pretty much it. I'm also a member of Arise NJ Arise. Phil Rizzo, I was probably one of the first. He asked me to come on board onto NJ Arise, and I was honored. I'm still a member. We bring in the cream of the crop for school boards all across the country. I'm sorry, all across the state. Sorry, I wish, right? We had that many people. We had a national, maybe we can work on that, who knows? But and I'm so proud of this organization. We have brought in on the Gloucester County end of my district and my Camden County end of my district, we actually have a full slate of candidates in both counties. We really, really, really worked hard to get them in on the ballot for this election season, and I'm going to door knock for them. They keep saying that it's not supposed to be partisan. Guess what? Denise is door knocking for the Board of Ed candidates. So we're going to get them in, and we're going to fix this crazy, this school situation with the crazy liberal indoctrination and the inappropriate sexual education and everything else that's going on. It's just not happening. It has to stop.
What could you guys do? What can you do to actually make a difference? Every single person that's in this room right now should be on the county committee in their specific county. Whatever county you live in, you need to be on your county committee. You need to be able to make your voices heard, because at the end of the day, the candidates that we say we don't support or we don't like or we feel like they're not doing anything for us, it's because we allowed people that have their own interests to choose our leaders. And that's why it seems like we don't have a voice. You can clap, it's fine, thank you, I appreciate that. You see, like Josh was saying in 2020, I ran in District 9 in a deep blue district. Well, it's not actually true that it's a deep blue district. It's a blue district because Baseman Bill's been in charge for about 24 years now he's been, 84 years old, been there for many years, was the mayor of my city before that, assemblyman before that, on the Board of Ed before that, and he continues to be propped up. And the truth is, it's not that we can't win in this area and there are no Republicans. There actually are quite a bit. Many of them are just unaffiliated now. Why are they unaffiliated? Well, the Democrats are all they see. All they see are the Democrats going out campaigning, going into the fights, and doing the work that Republicans seem to not do. And I understand we got jobs, we got things we want to do, we want to protect our reputation. We don't want anybody to look at us the wrong way or, oh my God, I'm going to lose business if I say that I support this candidate or I'm with this specific party. But the truth is, whether you do it or not, you're going to lose it. You're going to lose it anyway. Yep. You got to think of it that you're going to lose it anyway. And it's very short lifespan compared to, like, let's say, Italy, who's been around for hundreds of years. The United States has accomplished more than many, many, many nations across the world. We're one of the only countries in the world where you actually have freedom of speech to say the things that you want to say, to criticize the things that you can't. Sure, social media and all these companies will try and shut you down. You believe there's no freedom of speech. These are private organizations. In this nation, we have the ability to say what we want. We have the ability to speak out. We have the ability to do the right thing, regardless of what anybody thinks. Because when you don't speak, now you give the other side the opportunity to do what they want.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much. I'm honored to have an opportunity to come talk to you for just a few minutes. And if you didn't connect and see the thread that Denise and Billy were talking about, the common thread between both of their speeches is you got to get involved. You have to be involved. And I heard speeches like that from different people that were involved in government and different candidates and people that were politically minded more so than me for about 8 years before I really started to get aggravated that they kept talking to a room of people and I felt like they were talking to only me. And I really understood and realized that we can't just hope things get better. We can't just wish things get better. We can't just shout, hey, things got to get better. We actually have to go make things better. And so as we dealt with New Jersey's direction really for the last 3.5 years, I was becoming more and more frustrated in my home state. Born and raised in New Jersey. I have a wife and 4 children. I have a real estate business, and I have a ministry that started here in Hoboken in 2012. We started a second church up in North Bergen in 2019. And the current administration and their policy and things that were being pushed in New Jersey were affecting every area of my life, my family, my business, and our ministry. And I get it. As conservatives, we just want to be left alone. We want to go to work, we want to spend time with our family, we want to go to church, and we want to have a hobby. And we just want to be left alone. But the left are the activists. They're the ones that are banging on doors. They're the ones that are getting involved. Quite honestly, it's like they wanted it more than us. And they do. I think maybe the better term is they did. I think as conservatives, we are realizing now we have to become activists. We have to spark and keep gas on the fire of conservative activism.
All right, on to our first interview of the day, and we have a familiar face on the Pulse, and that is Pastor Phil Rizzo. Pastor, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you very much.
It's good to see you again.
Good seeing you.
Absolutely. Okay, so Pastor Rizzo, I first want to congratulate you. You certainly ran an unbelievable race. You started out grassroots, and it turned into almost a victory in the for the Republican nomination for governor. I was just wondering if you can explain to the audience some of your experiences on the campaign trail as the campaign went on.
We absolutely loved the campaign trail. We were talking conservative things. We were talking New Jersey families, family autonomy, family business, family core values. As a family man, a husband, a father, a pastor, a business owner, every area of my life was being affected. And that's a pretty good cross-section of New Jersey. Family man, businessman, and a faith leader. A lot of people in New Jersey, we touch all of those. And so we ran a populist campaign. We're really running for all New Jersey families. And so we had a great time. We loved it. Our campaign, Jersey Rizzo, I didn't come up with that. It was so funny. People think my name is Jersey.
I saw signs everywhere, by the way.
Yeah, so people think my name is Jersey, which is fine. But it's funny, that almost became a brand. And it really, as you said, came out of nowhere. Not a politician. We ran for 5 months. We got denied matching funds. That was $1 million plus. We basically ran a 5-month campaign with no money as a political nobody. It was never about Rizzo. It was always about the conservative movement. And they felt like they had a voice. We are so honored to have been that voice for the conservative base in New Jersey.
And speaking of which, now we're about a little less than 2 months away from the governor's race, and of course, Jack Ciattarelli has won the nomination for the Republican nomination. Say, I'm all tongue-tied today. How important?
People.
Apparently so. How important is it for, in your eyes, for Jack to get elected as the next governor of New Jersey?
Phil Murphy is probably the worst governor in America, bar none. We have the highest COVID death rate. If New Jersey was a country, Phil Murphy's sitting at the top. We have the most deaths per 1,000 anywhere on planet Earth. His lockdowns were a disaster. His mandates were a disaster, not only for our elderly, but also for businesses. We could talk about physical deaths, but he's also financially destroyed the state. He's a total mess. He needs to be replaced.
Okay. So now, something that Denise Gonzalez, who's running for assembly down in District 4, the Camden area, mentioned was the mask mandates. She feels as if it's a form of child abuse. Do you? I believe you feel the same way. I think when we interviewed you the last time, you said it was. Do you still feel that way? And do you feel as if that parents should actually have a choice whether or not to vaccinate their child, if the child is 12 or older, or have their child wear a mask in New Jersey schools?
We led the charge on this. When I read Phil Murphy's initial executive order locking the state down, because I'm a business owner and because I'm a pastor, I read that thing like 5 times because I wanted to see where it was going to affect me and my business and my ministry. And what I realized is that our church was supposed to be closed because the marquee over the front door said City Baptist Church. But if the marquee over the front door was City Liquors, according to Phil Murphy, it could be opened and essential, right? So this whole thing has been a disaster here in New Jersey. His mandates, his lockdowns have all been about power. I've never put a mask on one time. I fly on airplanes. Nobody says a word. The one time somebody did say something to me about putting on a mask on an airplane, I got off the plane and I didn't take the flight. I believe the mask is an absolute violation of an individual's right to suffocate themselves and to breathe in their own carbon dioxide. If you want to wear it, great. If you want to wear 2, great. But if I want to wear 0, I'm not going to become a social pariah because I believe in breathing fresh air and I trust my immune system, my God-given immune system, which, by the way, statistics prove we're at 98.9 whatever % strong against coronavirus. And so, yeah, I never masked my children. We never masked anybody at our church. We never even closed our doors. We met in our church straight through. We will do that again this fall and winter if Phil Murphy tries to shut us down again.
Okay. So just to clarify, it is a choice of the parents if they want to mask their children and so on and so, or vaccinate their children.
1,000%. It is up to the parent. I don't need Phil Murphy from his Middletown mansion or his villa in Italy telling me how to raise my kids. I got it, Phil. Thanks.
And as both paisans over here, Phil, anytime you want to invite us to your villa in Italy, right?
No, thanks.
So finally, I'm going to leave the floor to you. How important is it, as you know, you just ran in the primary back in June, how important is it for people to come out this November and to vote, as you said, for their choice of governor?
Well, we have people that were here. Denise Gonzalez was here. You know, every district, down ballot. You know, and Jack's been talking about this. Part on the campaign trail, Jack was talking about, hey, it doesn't matter who you send to be your governor. If we do not win down ballot races, it's not going to matter. So people have to be involved at every level. We started Arise New Jersey. That's a school board entity. We started that 2 years ago because we need to be bottom-up government, school board, county committee, all those things. We have to be involved, governor all the way down to school board, and school board all the way up to governor.
All right, well, Phil Rizzo, great seeing you again. Absolutely. Folks, we're going to be back with some more interviews. Phil Rizzo, do you still have a website? I'm sure it's still up, correct?
It is. We're changing. We're launching it probably Wednesday, so I'm not going to give out the address right now. But Wednesday, it's coming out. We're going to have a new platform, and we're going to keep working hard for New Jersey families. Perfect.
All right, just Google him, and I'm sure the website will come up after Wednesday. We'll be back with more interviews. All right, now here with Denise Gonzalez, Assembly candidate down in District 4, way down in District 4 in South Jersey. What brings you to North Jersey, Denise?
Well, I was invited up to this amazing event to support this new organization up here, and basically want to network and see if we can work on bringing the organization down south.
Absolutely. Of course, you're running in deep blue, Camden County. So we were talking before the interview today, and you said 7 cities are in Camden County and 3 or 4 cities are in Gloucester County, correct? What does a Republican like you have to do to eventually win in a deep blue district like yours?
Well, first off, we have to listen to the constituency. We have to listen to the independents, the undecided voter. I particularly call them the educated voter. They want to hear from us. They want to hear where we stand on the issues, the key issues like taxes, economic development, education, our rights and freedoms. Basically, reaching out to that demographic would definitely make a big, huge difference in having that big flip. I do know that Diane Allen, our lieutenant governor candidate, basically did the same thing. She flipped her district in a very deep, deep blue district, and she was able to win. Same with Jack Chitterelli. He did the same as well, yeah.
Well, we just showed highlights from the speeches that were done a little earlier today. You spoke about the mask mandate in school. You feel that it is a form of child abuse. I mean, it is such a controversial issue right now because there are other people who would say studies are showing that masks actually have no effects on a child's lungs in school, and it actually protects them from either spreading the COVID-19 disease or bringing it home. What do you have to say to those people who are throwing science in the way of some people's opinions?
Well, first off, children were never at risk for COVID. I mean, and when they were, I mean, they basically are there's not a high death prevalence in the young ages. So children are able to catch COVID and recover quickly and easily, unlike adults, of course. So, and there is no real science behind it, masks being effective at all whatsoever. Masks actually protect those that are already infected. So yeah, it literally is child abuse. I believe if an adult wants to use a mask anywhere they want, they should be able to retain that right to wear one or not. That should be their choice, yes.
And do you believe that it should be the parent's choice if their son or daughter wants to wear a mask in school?
I really wholeheartedly believe that children should not be. But if that's what a parent wants to still do, it is still their right. I still believe in parental rights. And so that right should not be stripped away, so they should retain that right.
Best of luck in your race. I mean, it's going to be a sprint to the finish or a marathon, depending, right? Well, we hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course. We'll be back with more interviews.
Hi, everyone. This is Frank Rosner for the Pulse, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you Billy Prepa, who is a candidate running against Bill Pascrell. Sorry. Billy, let me start off with the first question. What is the actual agenda for you that you want to put forth for the voters to be able to vote for you and make a decision?
So the agenda that I would like to put forward is the candidate we've had. Let me just hold it? Okay, good. Oh, okay. All right, no, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. But, the candidate that we've had, he's been running for the past 24 years. He's done literally nothing for our district. I live in Paterson, New Jersey. I've lived there my entire life. While the education has gone down, the standard of living has gone down. There's been so much overdevelopment where a lot of people are being gentrified out of these communities. He's got a lot of say in a lot of this. Not only that, the quality of life in our district has deteriorated to the point that many people are starting to move out of the district. We have a lot of people moving into New Jersey now that are taking advantage of the things that we've had. So one of the things that I'd like to do is I'd like to bring a lot more opportunity to the 9th District. That's something that we've been lacking for a very, very long time. There's hundreds, if not probably thousands of derelict factories inside of the 9th District that are not being taken advantage of. And I believe one of the reasons why there's a lot of crime inside of our district is because there is no lack of opportunity. There is no way to actually bring wealth into the community. So what I would like to do is I'd like to partner with larger corporations and manufacturing businesses to take ownership of these buildings.
You mean the public-private?
Yes, public-private. So to give, I'm talking like Lockheed Martin, GE, Whirlpool, LG, companies like that, to take these businesses and bring manufacturing jobs back into the district. Give them a tax incentive to do so, as well as hiring people within the district. So that's number one. Second thing I'd like to do is help improve our education system, because that's something that we're severely lacking. In Paterson, for example, the literacy rate of African Americans that are graduating out of the Paterson School District is at 30%, which is horrible compared to the rest of the nation. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have business owners, entrepreneurs, and people that have been established for well over 20 years, CPA people, IT workers, have them work with these schools so that they can have one of their best people inside of our school districts teaching our students how to do what they do. So the way this program would work is it's similar to a school choice program, but I'd like to bring this into the public schools as well too, because I don't believe the solution is just school choice and send everybody to private schools and schools out of pocket. Bring these opportunities to the public schools so that when the children are learning from these individuals, they could take those skills with them when they leave. Right now in high school, people go through 4 years, they go to college, or some of them get into debt, and they literally have nothing to do with it. Rather than doing that, why don't we educate our students while they're in high school, teach them skills like plumbing, trade, accounting, and so forth, so that by the time they get out, they can either start businesses on their own, they can work somewhere as an apprentice, or they can still go to college, and worst comes to worst, they have something to fall back on. Right now, there's no opportunity for that.
Real quickly, if I could, your take on the mask mandates and the vaccine mandates, real quick.
So my take on the vaccine mandates is like, if somebody wants to take the vaccine, that's totally up to you. But when it gets to the point that the government is now telling you that you have to take this or else we're going to lose your job, I have a very big problem with that, especially for the people that are working in the public sector. When the pandemic happened, we had teachers, firefighters, well, not necessarily teachers, but we had EMS, firefighters, police officers that were going through this pandemic, some of them wearing the same disgusting masks for weeks, trying to save people's lives. Suddenly, now that this vaccine is out, they're forcing people, like, if you don't take this jab, you're going to lose your job. And this is a big fear of many people, especially a lot of the police officers and a lot of the medical workers. A lot of them are having their jobs put at risk, when in reality, we loved them at first. Now they don't have the opportunity to do this just because the government has said so. Somebody wants to do it, they can. Somebody wants to wear the mask, they can. But when you're trying to take the livelihood away from somebody, I don't agree with that. Over 1/3 of all businesses in New Jersey are completely shut down since the pandemic has happened, and there's no plan to actually get it back. Forcing people to do something like this is not going to benefit the state. It's not going to help us any further. So that's my take on that. In terms of schooling and sending our children to school and forcing them to wear masks, I see teachers. I can't remember what school I was in the other day, but I see teachers walking around. They're not wearing any masks, yet they're forcing children to go and wear the masks. And statistically, children are less likely to carry this. But they'll spread the conspiracy that, oh, if a child carries it, they can bring it home and this person will get it. You can catch that anywhere. I've caught the virus before myself, so like I'm not that I'm saying that it's a good thing, but it's not a good thing. It almost took me out. It's not a good situation, right? But at the end of the day, one of the best ways that we can also protect ourselves from is, wash your hands, take care of yourself, take care of your health as well too.
Well, there you have it, folks. Billy Prepa running against Bill Pascrell in his district. I guess I could say I wish you luck. And thank you for the interview.
Guess you could say, or you wish me luck?
I guess I'll wish you luck.
I guess he wants Pascal. He wants the same nonsense.
I don't necessarily want Pascal, but I'll wish you luck.
Okay, there you go. Wish me luck. There you go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, Billy. Appreciate it. There you go. Hi, everyone. This is going to be the last interview for today. To my right is Emilio Mendoza. And, of course, to my left, no introduction necessary, Joshua Sotomayor Einstein. So, Emilio, let me ask you, just give us a little detail and background and about this event, and just let us know.
All right, yeah, we decided to make this event to raise some funds for the future candidate and to keep doing events like that, because we need to spend some money. Like I said, my name is Emilio Mendoza. I'm the president and founder of Hispanic Republican of New Jersey. And the point of creating this group is to bring awareness, to bring our Republican Party up. The Republican Party in Hudson County through all over North Jersey has been silent, quiet for a long time, and we need to wake up. So the purpose of bringing the Hispanic Republican to life is to unify more the Republican Party, to bring a new spirit, a new life, to give a new people a new opportunity. This is a great country who gave me many opportunity so that I can be here today. I'm a successful business person, and I've been involved in the community since 1997 when I met, some people in the Republican Party, and I'm gonna stay here fighting for the community, make sure everything goes well. So mi nombre es Emilio Mendoza, soy presidente de Hispanic Republican of New Jersey y estamos aquí en este evento hoy para unificar el Partido Republicano, para traer más personas hispanas y de otras nacionalidades al Partido Republicano, ya que entendemos que el Partido Republicano es un partido más conservador que los demócratas. Como ustedes pueden ver, el Partido Demócrata está básicamente destruyendo nuestro país con esos ideales que son arcaicos y racistas. Y no debemos aceptar lo mismo que vivieron los cubanos con Fidel Castro y otros países comunistas. Esto es un país de libertad, de libre expresión, y nosotros como hispanos, como norteamericanos, debemos defender esta gran nación que nos ha dado la oportunidad para que hoy estemos aquí y juntos luchemos por el bienestar nuestro, de nuestros familiares y nuestros vecinos. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, señor Mendoza.
Sí, sí.
On my left again is Joshua Sotomayor Einstein. Josh, just quickly, you and I know each other. I got a quick question. Just give me your take as a member of this auspicious group. What's your take?
Well, A, I deny that we know each other. B, I'm not on your left, I'm just on your other right, because as a conservative, I don't want to be associated with the loony left.
What a jokester.
But that's usually your job. But the people here today, the packed room that we have, black, white, brown, man, woman, all types, Jews, Christians, atheists, they're here because they support Republican candidates from the top, Jack and Diane for governor, to all the way down the ballot for assembly, for state senate, and they want an active and out loud and proud GOP, and that's why they came out today, because Murphy and all the Democrats in the state of New Jersey, their day is numbered, one and done in 21. Phil Murphy's done in 21, and that's why people are here today, to support Republicans, to support Jack and Diane, and we're going to make the state of New Jersey a better place to live again, affordable place to live again.
All right, Frank, we have come to the end. By the way, in your last interview, you're trying to close the show. You're trying to forget about Peter B.
I apologize, Peter B.
By the way, it looks like somebody's trying to. Oh, nope, the sign is now gone behind us.
It's gone. It's gone.
They know.
The event is still going on, but the signs.
The signs are gone, right? Your thoughts about some of the interviews tonight, some of the candidates running tonight, and just the event in general?
Well, the event's great. As long as it brings people together. It seems somewhat inclusive. Not as inclusive as I'd like it to be. I like Billy Prepa. He's a nice guy. I'm not sure I agree with most of what he said, but I did agree with some of what he said. I think there's a need for critical thinking, and there's a lack of it, but I think, Billy is maybe some of that, it could be a moderate, and I thanked him for his service for the U.S. Air Force. Absolutely. And that's really my take on this at the moment. There's not much time for analysis, but on the whole, Pretty good.
Pretty good. And I have to admit, you know, I interviewed Denise Gonzalez, who's also a servicewoman. Was very, very impressed. Challenged her on a couple of the mask mandates.
Yes, you
That's
did.
what we're supposed to do, right? But I thought she answered everything truthfully, and I think that's important because I think that just because somebody has a different opinion than you, to them it's the truth. So I mean, and you have to take their opinion
Exactly.
and move on with it.
I disagree.
Exactly. All right. For Frank Rosner, thanks again.
Thank you,
We're going
Peter B.
to hopefully see you on the show soon.
As soon as we're pumping it out, that's fine with me.
That's it. We love pumping things out. All right, folks. This has been a pulse. A pulse? What the hell is a pulse?
It's the Pulse.
It's the pulse.
That's the Pulse.
This has been a Pulse with Peter B. web exclusive. I'm Peter Biancamano. Join us next time for the Pulse on everything you need to know. Have a great week, everybody.